inventions are dangerous, Stark.
Hey, those weapons were meant for the good guys.
Is that supposed to be a joke?
Not the time. Get your heads in the game.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 greatest moments in some truly awful video games. Number 10. The Illusiga, Resident Evil 6.
You follow my lead or I'll find someone who will.
Do you even hear yourself?
Fall in line, soldier.
Don't remember the giant snakes that can go invisible? That's okay. There's a lot that makes Resident Evil 6 forgettable. But the Illusiga was the biggest highlight of the game, at least for us. With this giant beast sneaking around tight corridors and destroying buildings, it was as if Resident Evil 6 remembered that this franchise did once scare the bejesus out of us. This franchise used to not be so heavy on the explosive set pieces and action-heavy gameplay. Sadly, the same couldn't be said for the rest of the game, as every other boss fight before and after the Illusiga was about as engaging as a gunfight in Call of Duty.
We did it! We fried that son of a bitch!
Number 9. Chapter 14. The Casting of Frank Stone.
Help! Help me!
Help me get him!
It's almost hard to say anything positive about the casting of Frank Stone. It isn't abysmal per se, just mediocre and forgettable if you're not someone who closely follows the lore of Dead by Daylight. However, we do have to admit the final chapter is where the true terror finally pours in. From the vast sight of the entity invading to the multiple characters you control within this one chapter, this is where your decision-making and quick-time event skills actually matter, where a character will either live or die depending on what you do. We just wish there was more of this throughout the game instead of constant lore dumps and setups.
The entity will play with our souls for all eternity. An endless hunt of fear and hope.
Number 8. Fighting the Architects, Mass Effect Andromeda. Look, there were a lot of problems with Mass Effect Andromeda at launch, mostly in its visuals and character animation. The game has been in a much better state since, thankfully. Even so, the best part of Andromeda was our first encounter with the Architects, massive mechanized constructs that burrow in the ground before popping out to ambush their target. These guys were so cool in the way they were introduced and how they were animated that it lifted our spirits a bit on what the rest of Andromeda might have looked like, or, at this moment, what it could have become over what we wound up getting. Number 7. The Rourke Rap, Rogue Warrior.
I'm gonna bring it to him. I'm gonna show him what time it is. Good spot to bring the noise.
While we love ourselves some Mickey Rourke, Rogue Warrior was not one of the actor's best outings, though that isn't exactly his fault. Rogue Warrior launched in a catastrophic state with bugs and glitches around every single corner.
Sorry, assholes, your quiet day at the office is about to get severely fucked up.
For those of us who stuck with the game until the end, there was something that was entertaining to experience. When the credits begin rolling, you'll be treated to an entire rap song performed by Rourke himself.
I'd seek mother. Anybody home? Hey, Daddy's here. Come on. Glad to see me.
Mind you, this is not an endorsement to go and play the game all the way through. It's not worth it. This is just one thing that was amusing in a game filled with migraine-inducing problems.
What the was I doing again? Yeah, shit up.
Number 6. The Superstar Daycare, Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach.
Hello? New friend, you're sure I'm late. Are we having a slumber party? Where are all your friends?
The concept of being trapped inside a giant indoor amusement park like Security Breach's Mega Pizzaplex had us captivated with the game from the very beginning. What made us more excited was the Superstar Daycare, where we're introduced to the attendant and quickly learn that we'll have to traverse a jungle gym to turn the lights back on. The terror in wandering around this claustrophobia-inducing playground while an animatronic hunts you down got us eager to see what else Security Breach was waiting to show us. Well, the rest of the game turned out to be a lot of broken AI and busted stealth gameplay.
Rule breaker. rule breaker! You are banned from the daycare!
Number 5. The opening. We Happy Few.
Pussy! Pussy!
There was so much to love about We Happy Few during its first hour or two. This was a game that wanted to explore a world where people are forced to basically pretend they live in a perfect utopia when, in reality, the happy pills hide a dark and dismal world. And the fact that your character was someone in charge of redacting media about horrible events made the game even more intriguing. Unfortunately, everything falls apart when We Happy Few thrusts you into the main gameplay loop, which goes from hints of an action-adventure game straight into pure survival gameplay with crafting mechanics. Yeah, not a good bait-and-switch tactic.
Oh my lord. He's a downer. Call security. We've got a downer.
Number 4. The Birthday Party. Beyond Two Souls.
Hey, Jody, come in.
Hi.
Hey, Kirsten, you coming? I gotta go. Come in, Jody, don't be shy.
There are quite a few problems with Beyond Two Souls in its messy storyline and minimal gameplay, although we'd be lying if we said we didn't enjoy a single moment in the entire game. The Birthday Party was that one moment where we let our inner demon child out to enact revenge on a particularly snotty and devious group of teens. After they shove Jody in the closet and shame her for her weird powers, you'll have the option of either leaving quietly or getting revenge on them. You better believe we chose to terrorize those little punks, and it was the only moment that made Beyond Two Souls somewhat entertaining.
What are you doing, Aiden? You're going too far. You've got to stop.
Number 3. A-Day, Marvel's Avengers.
Sounds pretty big for an accident.
There are no accidents.
Thor, Tony, check it out. At once.
Try to keep up.
Much of your time in Marvel's Avengers falls under punch dudes, open crates, punch more dudes, open more crates. And that's a crying shame because part of the game's opening with A-Day showed some promise. This part of the game's opening hour lets you play as Thor, Captain America, Black Widow, Iron Man, and the Hulk, all of which feel great to play and even more so when playing with a DualSense controller. Unfortunately, you spend so much time playing as Kamala Khan and opening crates after this that the game quickly shows just how monotonous it truly is.
What's happening here?
The city's collapsing.
Number 2. Mr. Torg's Ocean Mushroom, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Uh-oh, party's starting to split. Looks like your story's floating dead in the harbor, Fate Maker.
There really aren't a lot of remarkable things going on for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. It's fine as is, but Gearbox really didn't do much to make character classes nor weapons feel truly unique. But the scene with Mr. Torg and Brighthoof's docks was absolutely hilarious. All of the emotion of the ocean story mission is you setting up a small hype party as you and Torg get ready to blow up the frickin' ocean. Not only was this a truly fantastic setup for an unnecessarily explosive moment, it was also a hell of a callback to a line uttered by Mr. Torg in the Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep expansion for Borderlands 2.
Beautiful! New ocean! I'll see you in hell!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. The Batman Experience. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Best dirty movie I ever saw. Oh, crap!
This door will not hold. We must barricade it.
In terms of story and awesome set pieces, the Batman Experience is the coolest thing Suicide Squad ever did. And for clarity, we don't mean the museum itself, though that itself is pretty neat. After kidnapping the Flash, Task Force X finds themselves trapped in a cold and dark museum filled with Batman exhibits, and one murderous Dark Knight stalking them from deep within the shadows. For a moment, this whole sequence felt like we were going through one of the old Arkham games as if we were the common thug. The Batman statues from Arkham Knight even make a return here, and hearing the squad panic is among the funniest moments the game brings. If only the rest of the game matched this level of imagination with its source material.
Green Lantern, I have the Flash. Your 4 escaped criminals. They led me right to him.
Was there an awful game you felt had a genuinely cool moment? Let us know down in the comments.